Hello, one and all, and welcome to Roll in the Family, D&D Beyond's family-friendly game of D&D 5th edition. We are halfway through our wonderful adventure of the Slumbering Forest, a grand journey in a fairy tale world unlike anything you've seen before because of our incredible heroes on this adventure. My name is Brennan Mulligan. I'm your humble dungeon master. With me, as always, are our wonderful heroes, a group of 3 families that have all come to play. We got grown-ups and kids playing together side by side. With me this week, let me go ahead and introduce, when I introduce the player, go ahead and introduce your character as well. First, we have Mr. Adam Bradford.
Hi, I am playing Barnaby, a fawn warlock that is on the market for a new patron at the moment.
And we have the junior member of the Bradford family, Mr. Luke Bradford.
Hi, I'm Luke Bradford, as he said, and I'm playing Talisman, and I'm about to fight a champion, and I'm a little nervous, but we're going to do it.
Awesome. And we also have with us today Mr. B. Dave Walters.
Hello. Oops. Can you hear me? Hello. Yes. B. Dave Walters. I'm playing Hatch, the Turtle Life Cleric. And let me see if I can get this right. I believe she should be over there. Yes. Kaylin.
My name is Kaylin Walters, and I'm playing Trinity, a Wood Elf Angel. And I got myself stuck in a footrace.
You're very fast. You're so fast. And Lexi.
I am Lexi Walters, and I play Demora, a Tiefling Paladin, and I'm about to eat the biggest meal of my life.
I love it. And also with us today, we have the wonderful Kelly Knox.
Hello. I play Ren, a half-elf druid, Circle of the Stars, and over here is Maddie.
Hi, I play Michael, the Grung Wizard, or the Gorgeous Frog Wizard, and yeah.
Well, these fantastic heroes have found themselves deep in the Slumbering Forest. We're at the halfway point of a 6-week adventure here, journeying into the Slumbering Forest to try to solve the mystery of a long-gone prophecy and save the world from eternal slumber. A little recap of the adventure so far. The journey began in the Port of Sapphires when the prophesied Prince Lionel of the Kingdom of Caverly was 1 week away from being a no-show to fulfill this very important prophecy. And the different rulers and leaders of the realms of Lyra got together and basically said, look, we all know the story. 18 years ago, the infant Prince Lionel had his naming day. His mother and father, the king and queen, invited only 3 of the 4 fairy queens, and the Queen of Dusk, not being invited, got real mad, turned the Kingdom of Caverly into a giant slumbering forest filled with fairy magic, and the infant prince went missing. Now, our friends have been tagged along with who they believed to be, or who they maybe didn't quite believe to be, the Prince Lionel, who has actually turned out to be a fisherman named Frederick, who had a memory spell cast on him, with some hints that that spell may have been cast by the gnomish advisor Ziceris. The plot thickens. However, in attempting to get to the bottom of the prophecy, our heroes have found maybe a more direct route, now having to improvise their way through the adventure here in the forest of collecting blessings from the different fairy queens in case they need to summon the Queen of Dusk herself to try to get to the bottom of this. In last week's adventure, our Wood Elf Ranger Trinity became the champion of midnight, got herself a cool magic cloak by agreeing with the Queen of Midnight that her feckless fawn, Barnaby, was actually not the best warlock servant in the world, and got 1 of 3 blessings, and our wonderful heroic adventurers made their way all the way to the Court of Dawn, which, unlike the Midnight Queen's scary crow-infested castle, is a giant tourney ground filled with melee pits and foot races and jousts and boxing rings. At the end of the last session, the Queen of Dawn, who you know, very much unlike her sinister sister, the Queen of Midnight, is an armor-clad, bellowing warrior queen. Got her different champions in different fights. So Trinity is involved in a foot race with the cheetah tabaxi, Jathra. Demora is in an eating contest against an as yet unknown opponent. Her champion, Sir Oradont, who's a giant bugbear knight, is in the grand melee against Talisman, which we know is the melee that's going to determine, you know, who her champion is, who maybe gets her blessing.
No pressure, kid.
No pressure.
You can do it.
And then the Queen of Dawn herself is in a boxing match against the fawn Barnaby with some extremely high stakes, because if Barnaby wins this boxing match, he will enter into the Queen of Dawn's patronage. She will offer him spells, and she will be able to, and he will have a new source of magic to make up for burning his bridges with the Queen of Midnight. If he loses, however, the adventuring party has offered up Frederick the Fisherman, formerly known as the Prince Lionel, to live forever as a servant in the tourney grounds of the Dawn Queen. That is where we left off last time. We also quick note, this wonderful adventure, The Slumbering Forest, with all these fairy tale myths come to life, is something that D&D Beyond has been kind enough to put together in collaboration with Direct Relief, an amazing charity that is providing resources and aid to first responders on the front lines of this global healthcare crisis we find ourselves in. So if you like the show, if you like the adventure we're putting on for you, please donate generously, dig deep. The mods are providing links to be able to donate to Direct Relief as you're watching. We hope you will consider giving something to help our amazing healthcare workers out. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And without any further ado, we dive back into the world of the Slumbering Forest. So last we left off, we had Trinity squaring up at the foot race, Demora headed over to the feasting tables, Talisman going over to the grand melee pit, and then sort of nearby in a boxing ring, Barnaby going in against the Queen of Dawn herself. For our wonderful spellcasters, our druid, our cleric, and our wizard, what are you guys squaring up to do in this moment?
Ren is going to head to the foot race, is where she's interested in.
So Ren's going to head over to the foot race, which is awesome. And what is Hatch doing?
I'm going to keep an eye on Barnaby and Talisman, because I think they're going to need to get patched up.
And then what's Michael up to?
I'll go to whoever's left.
So that would be Demora and the eating contest. Wonderful. Incredible. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is this is going to go ahead and just be an initiative. I'm going to actually, everyone here go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Let me
24.
Let me use my digital dice here. Let's see.
Incredible.
18.
Hold on one second. We'll start to enter these in. Incredible. So I'll go through and ask, Barnaby, what's your initiative?
4.
4, gotcha. And Michael, what's yours?
15.
15, wonderful. And Ren, what is yours?
13.
13, great. Hash, how about you?
Hatch got 1, so I'm first on the second round.
Trinity, what'd you get?
I got 24.
24! What a good initiative. Demora, what did you get?
18.
18, awesome. And Talisman, what did you get?
24.
Ooh, 24 as well. Our monk and ranger got that high initiative. Incredible.
I very much see it's like both of them are like bang, 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 and Hatch is like, yay.
Incredible. So you guys we're all going to be acting on initiative together, but I will also say that you guys very much are in like different areas of the tourney ground. So this is going to be a little bit unlike a normal battle, which is kind of cool. So we're going to start first. And I'll actually say between Talisman or Trinity, would either of you guys like to go first or start first? Because you both got the same initiative score. I hear a head shaking. No, Trinity doesn't want to go first. So we'll start with main event. So Talisman, you see your middle ring. The boxing ring next to you is raised slightly on canvas and is much smaller. This is a giant wood paneled ring. It's like thick with like mud and like broken spears and stuff all littering the ground. A lot of like weaponry is stuck around in case you get disarmed. You can like somersault and grab something else. Huge bleachers. All of these like centaurs, satyrs, dryads, nymphs, goblins, trolls, ogres in the stands are like cheering and pumping. You see there's a lot of little pixies and grigs that are also going like, ha, ha, ha. You see that there is a nearby like Nixie, like a little water spirit. See that she has like one of those tall conical princess hats with like a small thing, but a huge box of popcorn hung around her neck with like little popcorn bags. She's going like, get your popcorn right here, as he's marching around. You see, it's looking like a big main event here. You see that a lot of people have their like faces painted half green and start chanting, Orodont, Orodont. And this huge armored bugbear starts twirling this like vine-laden glaive around, big pole arm. My good man. Oh, is there a question from Trinity?
Trinity's gonna yell, don't chant for him, chant for Talisman.
Hatch is gonna hit thaumaturgy to make my voice boom and be like, Talisman.
And Barnaby's going around and is like, yeah, go Talisman, go Talisman. He's like, all right, I got 20 on the bugbear. And
I love that you do. Barnaby, I think you're doing this while in the ring of the nearby boxing match, like leaning over, and the queen is looking at you like, hey, focus up, guy. We're about to.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Yes, Demora.
So Demora can hear them chanting for Talisman, so she casts thaumaturgy like, whoa, yeah, go, whoa.
That's awesome. That's so great. I'm actually gonna say that because of all of this great teamwork from Demora and Trinity and Hatch and Barnaby, Talisman, you'll make your first attack with advantage in this round, thanks to all the help from your wonderful allies.
Thank you, allies. Thank you.
Don't die.
Don't die. Incredible. So, Talisman, you see that Orodont is kind of like pumping up the crowd around him, but as all these thaumaturgies of people cheering for Talisman come in, he kind of looks around. You have the highest initiative. You act first.
Okay. So Talisman unsheathes his sword and rushes up to Orodont, and it looks like he's going to hit him with a overhead slash, but then he holds back at the last second, and then he goes in with a hook punch, and then he also kicks him, and then after the kick he spins and kicks him again with flurry of blows and an unarmed strike.
Incredible. Go ahead and roll. So remember that your first attack of the round is going to be made with advantage.
Got it. I rolled 2 19s, so I got a 25.
Oh man, that first is definitely a hit. You can feel free, if you know you're definitely going to flurry of blows, you can absolutely feel free to roll all the rest of your attacks right now, or you can roll damage as you go to see if you want to change up.
Got it. Okay. All right. That first attack did a 7.
Awesome.
And then next attack, let's see. Awesome. Okay, on that next attack, I got a natural 20.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So double damage on that?
Double damage for unarmed. So that's going to, I mean, that's 2d6 plus your dex modifier, right?
Yes. Okay, so that'd be a 6.
Incredible.
So that would be an 8. 8 damage, yeah.
And if you're doing flurry, you get one more unarmed attack as well.
More, yeah. I got an 11 on that one.
Okay, 11 misses. So you deal 8 on that next one. So this is very much one of those moments of this colossal bugbear knight is sort of chanting and hollering, and as soon as the match gets called, you leap forward, strike, bam, 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 bam. It is a flurry of blows. He only gets his spear up and his pole arm up in front of you for the very last attack, but you already see that he's like stumbling backwards, sort of like barks out, and he skids into the mud behind him, and ends. And that is Talisman's turn. Incredible. After Talisman, that's going to go ahead and be Trinity. Trinity, over at you. You see that the footrace is this incredible winding path that's not on like a simple track. There's actually a raised pathway that goes through the woods, and there's like different stands of people watching in different places that like raise these flags and release these songbirds into the air as people pass by them. You see right before the race gets called, you see that Jothra, who's this cheetah tabaxi, looks over at you and they go, "Hey, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jothra. It's always fun to race. Are you fast? I'm very fast."
And Trinity replies with, yeah, I'm fast.
Oh, I love being fast. I love going fast, and I love tucking fast, and I love doing things fast. I love eating fast. But the funny thing about you is you remind me of an old friend that I used to have in another part of the forest, because originally I came from a different part. It was a lot wider. There was a lot more grass, because it's hard to run with all these trees in the way, because if you're not looking right ahead of you, you can run straight into a tree. Because if a tree comes up and you hit it, sometimes you don't even have to hit the tree itself. You can hit a branch, or sometimes if the wind blows, puts a branch in your way, you can hit that. But a lot of times you have to pay attention. That's the number one thing about running, is you always have to pay attention, and you always have to be looking where you're going. For example, if you see a butterfly, like one time I saw a butterfly, and the butterfly came by and went past, and like I wasn't looking where I was going, and I ran. And thankfully, I can run on top of water because I'm so fast. But this time, I stopped because of the butterfly, and then I was like, "Oh no, I'm in a lake!" And then I sank into the lake, and I got to the bottom, and I don't know how to swim, and someone had to come and get me, and that was really dangerous. So did that ever happen to you?
No, it didn't happen to me.
Well, that's the funny thing about life, is different things happen to different people. Has the race started yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you have any friends?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends.
Wow, that's really lucky. I have a lot of friends too, I think, but sometimes they say I talk too much. So if I ever talk too much, you let me know that I should stop talking.
Okay.
You see, what does Trinity think of Jothra so far in this moment?
She's like, well, he's fast and annoying.
Incredible. I will actually ask too, because Ren, you're near here watching this too, right? So Trinity and Ren, go ahead and make insight checks for me, if you'd be so kind.
21 for Ren.
Mm-hmm.
I only got a 10.
So Trinity, you're not really paying attention to Jothra because you're just focusing on like running fast, and you think Jothra's pretty annoying. Ren, you notice this thing about Jothra. You saw Jothra running before, and Jothra is almost supernaturally fast. But you also notice that Jothra does appear to be not the most present, and seems that they can get pretty easily distracted. So that's all I'll say on that 21 insight check. The noise for the race starts. Trinity, what do you do at the beginning as the race begins?
First, Trinity's gonna make a lot of movement while she's running so that Jothra can't just cut in front of her.
Very, very cool. That's awesome. So you're gonna take a move action. Okay, so in other words, you're going to try to make it that Jothra can't run past you. So I'm going to go ahead and say that like Trinity's boxing Jothra out. So you'll get an opportunity to do an opportunity attack if Jothra tries to pass you, which is really, really cool. That's a great idea. So so you're boxing Jothra out, and I also assume you're just trying to run as fast as possible. Awesome. So you sprint ahead, and I believe Trinity's movement is 35, right?
As a Gloomstalker, it depends on if you declare this combat or not. She's actually faster in the first round because of her Dread Ambusher skill.
I'm going to go ahead and rule that this is that. So actually, this round, if you do a move and a dash action, that makes your speed 45. You move 90 feet this round. So Jothra's a little bit distracted. Trinity has her head in the game, and Trinity darts, just dust kicking up that elven speed, going through the forest as fast as can be. That is Trinity's turn. Barnaby, you are taking some bets, and the bell rings. The Queen of Dawn uses her Fey Step ability to bonus action teleport to right next to you against the ropes, and she's going to take some attacks. Hold on one second. And what is Barnaby's armor class, if you'd be so kind?
It's so high at 14.
Okay. Incredibly, she actually misses on one of her attacks. And she's only dealing unarmed damage, but she still manages to deal 6 damage to Barnaby. So she teleports, looks at you and says, "Good fawn, turn around. Stop taking bets. I wouldn't strike you in the back." And as Barnaby turns around, she pops him in the chin for 6 points of damage.
Right in the kisser. It tickled a little bit.
She goes, "Made of stern stuff, this should be quite about. Put up your fists." And that's all she's doing on her turn. She seems to be having a ball. She just loves that she's fighting. And after her, we cut over to the tables. Demora, you sit down. Laden before you on this table is a colossal ham covered in pineapples, huge wooden bowls of like root vegetables and like sweet potatoes and yams mashed together. You see that there are huge like roasted pheasants. There are like different steamed and fried vegetables, like sprouts and tubers covered in seasoning with like bacon fat drizzled on them. Just like a huge like early summer feast placed before you. You see that on the other side of the table, and this one has like the crowd is kind of behind you. It's a lot more informal. So there's like people that are like literally crowding, like kind of like almost at their hands like on your shoulder behind you. They're like hooting and hollering. You see that people pick up the bench on the other side and start to move the bench away and bring in a giant carved tree stump and put it down on the opposite side of the table from you. You hear them start to chant, "Luna, Luna, Luna." A 14.5-foot tall minotaur. This shaggy red hair. You see that she looks like those like kind of red, orange-haired Scottish Highland cows. You know, like the Scottish cows have like really long hair. So she's like very peaceful and shaggy looking. She's got a bunch of like beads and different like sort of sylvan symbols on stones tied into her hair. She boom, boom, the ground shakes. She sits on the tree stump opposite you and she says, "Hello, nice to meet you. How are you doing?"
I'm good.
"Good. Are you hungry? I'm so hungry."
Man, I'm starving.
"Well, let's get to eating then." Yes. And Michael.
Do I have to wait for my turn, or can I do something right now since I'm standing next to her?
It depends. What do you want to do?
I wanted to cast Minor Illusion for like the side that the other person's eating on to make the food look really, really gross, so that it's harder for them to eat it.
Oh, I love that. Yes, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to say you can because this is sort of like before the combat has started, you can do that ahead of time. What I would love for you, I'm actually going to ask you to use your spell casting attack here, because Minor Illusion is it's almost like it's measuring your ability to make something gross enough that this minotaur isn't going to want to eat it. So go ahead and roll a d20, add your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier to that.
Okay, 1 second.
No worries. Let me know what you get when you roll it.
Intelligence and what else to add?
And just +2 for your proficiency.
Okay, that is 19.
Ooh, 19 is very good. What kind of gross stuff does Michael make out of illusions in the food?
Moss, bugs, I don't know, gross things.
So, okay, so you see that
Worms.
Luna goes to pick that like incredible massive bowl of like mashed sweet potatoes, moves it to her mouth, and just sees a roiling bed of moss and centipedes and beetles and grubs, and goes, "Ooh!" And that's gonna, and Demora, that gives you a head start on this massive minotaur. I'm gonna say go ahead. I'm going to say roll Constitution plus proficiency. So roll a d20 and add your Constitution modifier plus your proficiency modifier. Luna's going to do the same thing, but thanks to Michael's cunning magic, Luna's going to make all of her rolls in this contest with disadvantage. Very, very cool.
23.
23. Oh my God! What does Demora hit first? The ham, the vegetables, the mashed potatoes. What's she going for first?
I'm gonna go for the big ham first.
Incredible. So the ham is like one of those almost like cartoon hams where it's like partially on a bone still. It's got like pineapples and cherries. I'm gonna say, Demora, you go like full underworld. Your eyes go red. Your fangs, your like jaw unhinges like a demon, and you just go put it in your mouth and pop the clean bone out and toss it over your shoulder. All these centaurs go, "Whoa!" and start like shaking your shoulders and like clapping you on the back. Luna looks up and it's like, "Where did it go?"
Barnaby hears that commotion and kind of glances over there and realizes what's happening as he's rubbing his chin. And he's like, "Oh, good. You got this, kid." And then he's like trying to think to himself, "Wait, did I bet for her or the opponent?" And he can't quite remember.
Incredible. It is Michael's turn next. And Michael, I'm also going to ask you to make a perception check for me if you would be so kind.
24.
24? Oh, look at these rolls.
And it started with a natural 20 plus 4. So.
Oh my goodness. You got a nat 20? Michael, your illusion spell is incredible. Like, it's not only that Luna is going to have disadvantage for just this round, Luna's going to have disadvantage for the whole rest of the eating contest. You look and see out of the corner of your eye, while the queen is away, the only person left in the queen's throne area up in the bleachers is that kind of like Alagai, very furry, Yeti-looking shaman. You look and see that shaman is looking at Frederick, sort of mutters something, and the shaman does a weird thing. The shaman has a furry face, but goes and twirls some of the fur on its face in a weird way, walks out of the back curtain of the box, and you see that the shaman goes off into the woods by themselves. And as a wizard, you recognize casts a little bit of magic. Just with that nat 20 perception, I'm not even going to make you roll Arcana. The shaman just cast a spell or burned a spell slot to sustain a spell effect they were already concentrating on that they were running out of time on. Like they renewed a spell effect, and they sort of mutter something, I, Frederick, and walk off into the woods. So that's what Michael sees, and now it's your turn.
Can I walk up to the thing? The, like, furry person?
So the shaman's name is Alaklasmi. Do you want to follow Alaklasmi into the woods?
Yeah.
Very cool. You sound a little hesitant there. Do you want to just follow openly, or do you want to follow stealthily into the woods?
Stealth. Do I still have the thing that Ren casted, or is that long gone?
I think Pass Without Trace is long gone by this point.
But I'll try stealthily, but it doesn't matter if he sees me, so... Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. I hear you. I also want to remind you, by the way, I'm looking at Michael's character sheet, and Michael does have invisibility as a spell.
Yes, do that. Can I do that? I forgot about that.
No worries. I just want to remind you of your cool powers. So, Michael,
okay.
you've like single-handedly, like, like now Demora and this giant Minotaur are like on an even playing field. Like Demora has a chance of winning now because she was put up against a literal giant. But you look up and see this. As you begin to follow, you have your little froggy robes and your wizard's hat, and sparkling wind surrounds you, and you disappear as just little wet footprints appear in the dust, going off into the woods. And you go to the forest and are able to walk just on moss alone. And you follow the shaman out into the woods. We're going to cover this at the end of the fight, what Michael sees in the forest. So we'll come back to you in a little while. This is very cool that you spotted this, and very dangerous. Awesome. We're going to go back into the initiative order. It is Orodont's turn, baby. Talisman, you just whomped this bugbear, but he's got plenty of fight left in him. Thankfully, bugbears are at their most powerful when they're surprising people, and he does not have that benefit right now. He's going to take an attack. Does a 15 hit Talisman's armor class?
No, it does not.
You see this enormous blow with the glaive come down. Whew, Talisman, you, in that awesome monk way of just expending the least energy possible, you don't even dive for cover. You just move just enough that it misses you by an inch, so you don't have to give up your defensive stance. And Orodont stumbles forward, bloodied, going, you're looking around at all these incredible, like, wild sylvan creatures. You think these creatures have never fought a monk before. Like, your fighting style of being so controlled and disciplined is very unfamiliar to them. Ren, that is going to be your action in the foot race.
As closely as I can follow, I don't know how well. I'm going to use Druidcraft just in the woods around Jothra to make flowers bloom and see if I can catch her attention a little bit.
Oh, awesome. So cool. I'm going to ask the same thing. Go ahead. This is almost like an artistry check with an illusion, or not an illusion, but with Druidcraft. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll your wisdom modifier plus proficiency here.
Oh, 18.
18. Our spellcasters was making such awesome effects. So as Trinity starts running, and Trinity is going furiously fast. You see Jothra looks up and she goes like, goes, huh, oh, wow, the race has started. Huh, better start running. Pew! And just turns into a blur. And suddenly, whoo, these flowers bloom. Jothra skids on one paw and just goes, wow, beautiful. And as Jothra attempts to pass Trinity, Trinity is going to get to roll her attack of opportunity that she got with advantage due to this sudden distraction. So go ahead and roll an attack, Trinity, and you're going to roll twice and take the better of the two rolls.
Wait, do I add anything to it?
You add what you would normally add for your short swords.
Okay.
+6.
Oh, I think it's 23.
Ooh, did you roll a 17 on one of the dice?
Oh, then it's 24 because I rolled 18.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Great. Okay, incredible. You hit I'm gonna go ahead and say what do you think Trinity would try to do? Do you think Trinity would just want to stop Jothra, or would Trinity try to either like maybe like knock Jothra prone or like push Jothra off the path?
I would want to like push him off the path. Yeah, like
Awesome.
trip him.
Super cool. So I'm going to roll, actually, we're going to call this an athletics check. I'm going to roll and try to beat that roll you just made from Jothra. And on a natural 5, Jothra goes, wow, looks at the flowers, and Trinity, you just skid, trip, and Jothra tumbles off the path, rolls into the bleachers, and a bunch of spectators all leap out of the way and go, ah, as these boards snap and break. Jothra only gets to where you already are and is going to lose his next turn in the race. Incredible work, guys. That's awesome. So cool. You guys are killing this tourney. That's Jothra's turn. Jothra immediately loses that turn, cannot act. That's going to be Luna. And Demora, can you remind me of what you rolled in the last round? You rolled above, I think, was it an 18 or 19, right?
Well, yes, I rolled that, and then when I added, I got like
23 or 24. Incredible. Luna has a tremendous, Luna has a +7, but she's going to be rolling with disadvantage. Luna only gets a 14. So you see, she starts to shovel the potatoes that she look like bugs and moss. She goes, I have some requests for the menu. Some of these are harder to eat. I would have liked a ham. And it starts to slow down in the eating contest. Incredible. Barnaby, that is you.
So Barnaby kind of still rubbing his chin, but then he put up them dukes, and he's like, oh, actually, wait a minute. Let me get a good look at you. And he's like really, really straining, and he's just like, oh, it's you. I thought for a little while that I was fighting the bugbear, because I ain't ever seen anyone quite so ugly. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery. It's a wisdom save of 15.
Oh my!
Vicious Mockery is my favorite spell.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see if she makes it. What's the DC on that again?
15.
15. She succeeds on the wisdom save for damage. So does that mean she takes half or she takes nothing?
She takes nothing.
I'm gonna roll.
But I am stalling.
I'm gonna roll a separate wisdom save for her, same DC. She gets visibly mad. So she goes, "Do you dare mock My honor in my own ring.
Hey, I didn't mock your honor. I marked your looks.
Like dawn light surrounds her in a furious halo. Barnaby loves to dig his hole deeper, man. That is playing to character. Oh,
I do my best work in the hole. What can I say?
That is amazing.
And then at that point, though, I am certainly going to move. Like, so where we are currently trying to fight, are we like? Is there anything else in there with us at this point?
No, it's just you two in the ring.
Okay, and so how big is that ring?
That ring is about I would say 30 feet by 30 feet.
Okay. All right. So pretty tight in there. So then Barnaby is just going to, he can actually move quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So I am going to just continue to use my move to get closer to where she is. And I'm assuming I can move probably maybe 15-ish feet past her. But like, as I'm like moving up to her, I'm just gonna continue to look a little bit farther and say, I definitely thought you were the bugbear, and I'm gonna just keep going, walking past, and I'm gonna get up again behind her against the wall.
Cool. So you want to get in between her and the ropes, basically.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. You do so. Amazing. Hatch, that's gonna be you.
Having witnessed all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Hatch leans over to Barnaby and just says, hands up, chin down. And I hit him with protection from good and evil.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
So he'll have disadvantage to attack him, and he cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Well, I wasn't going to be frightened anyway.
Amazing. Oh my goodness, that's so
I feel it in my bones. Oh yeah.
Incredible. We go back to the top of the order. Talisman, that's you.
Okay. So he stumbles by, and I use the opportunity to do flurry of blows again, and I strike him 3 times in pressure points. So I'm gonna roll for that.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll 3 different attacks.
First one got an 11. Does that hit?
11 does not hit.
Got it. That time I got a 25. I'm guessing that hits.
25 should do the job. Absolutely.
Okay. That one does 7 damage.
Awesome.
And then last one. Let's see. Nat 20 again. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's 26 in total.
Love those digital dice on D&D.
Yeah,
Beyond.
they're broken.
That's amazing.
And then I did 5 damage on that, and then I need to roll that again for double damage. Yep.
Yeah, roll a second time for that. Yeah.
And that would be 1. Got 1 damage. Okay.
So 5 and 1 plus 4 is 10 on the second attack.
And then after that, I am going to skid back and move 40 feet away.
Amazing. You skid out of there. Oridont misses on his attack of opportunity. So you pressure point. Bam, 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 bam. Oridont is looking so badly hurt. He is looking like messed up. You duck and run away. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he's looking truly hurt, stumbling. You get 40 feet away. As you do so, you see the crowd that was chanting for Oridont starts chanting Talisman over and over again. Talisman! Oridont's looking around like unbelieving of what has just happened. Trinity, it is your turn again.
Okay, I'm still on the footrace, right?
Oh, sorry. I just realized. I'm sorry. One thing. Mobile feat, no opportunity attack on Talisman. I did not realize that. Very, very cool. So even if he had hit, he wouldn't have hit. So yeah, boom, 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 and you skid away. That is going to be you, Trinity.
So where is the cheetah right now?
The cheetah is crashed into the bleachers off the course and partially stunned. So Jothra is not going to have another. Jothra lost his turn. So you can fully get another turn of movement without Jothra being able to move.
Okay, so now that Jothra is not in my way, I'm gonna stop doing all of those foot movements that I was doing before, since I've known to like block off.
Awesome. So you're just going to concentrate on running as fast as you can. I'm going to go ahead and Trinity, with now that you only have to concentrate on running as fast as you can, go ahead and give me a dexterity check with advantage, and you can add your proficiency to this too. I'll say, so that you're going to add your proficiency plus your dexterity. So I think for you that's +6. You're going to add 6 to this roll, and you can roll this with advantage as well. If you can beat a 15, that's good. If you can beat a 20, that's great.
So +6.
Mm-hmm.
I got it's definitely past 20, but well, I rolled a 17, so +6, that would be 23.
These incredible rolls, my goodness. Trinity, you reach out with your foot, trip Jothra. Jothra goes skidding into the stands, and you focus all of your ability. As you run, your midnight cloak stretches out behind you, and you can feel yourself, you're not even touching the ground anymore. You're running so fast. You're actually touching just your own shadow as you like streak through the woods. Wind kicks up around you, like snacks and leaves blow off of the bleachers as you pass by. Jothra stands up in a bunch of sawdust. Looks, oh no, I'm about to lose. Oh no, and sprints after you, and it's not enough. You see, with Ren's magic, a final bloom of flowers goes up around the finish line, and you explode over the finish line in a blast of blossoms and flower petals. A huge cheer goes up as a like tumbling Jothra in just like a somersaulting ball, like skids into a tree branch next to you. And you see people go, hey, winner of the foot race, Trinity of the Woodland Folk, champion of the Midnight Queen. You have won the foot race. Awesome.
And you see that everyone is very happy about this, except Barnaby hears it and looks over there and is like, I knew I should have betted on her. And and he's very upset that he just lost a lot of money.
You see Trinity, you look over, and I'm gonna say, Ren, you're here at the finish line too. It's sort of like the loop comes back to the beginning, and you see that Jothra looks up, all like dust covered with like some bruises. It goes like, oh no, I've never lost a foot race before. This is so sad. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I'm supposed to be the fastest, and now I'm not even the fastest. The Dawn Queen's gonna be so mad at me. I can't even believe it. I'm in so much trouble. And starts crying. Trinity and Ren, what do you guys do at the conclusion of the foot race?
Ren's gonna help brush off Jothra because she actually kind of likes her. She's not that bad of a person.
As you start petting Jothra, like rubbing off the dust, Jothra looks at you and says, like, oh wow, that feels really good. Oh my god, I feel so much better. Thank you so much. You're so nice. What's your name? My name's Jothra.
I'm Ren, and I hand her another little flower just to kind of make up for.
Oh my goodness, is this for me?
Yes.
Oh, I've never had a flower before. This is incredible. Oh my goodness, you're the best. If you ever need anything, just call my name. If you say my name, I'll hear it and I'll be there. No problem. I'm really, really fast. No matter where I am, if you call me, I can get there super fast. I'm gonna go show all my friends this. Wait, who are my friends? You're my friend. Okay, goodbye. And Jothra tears off. Incredible. Trinity, you see that people are cheering for you. Yeah, Trinity, what do you want to do?
Trinity's gonna like go over to the eating contest and watch them all.
I love that. That's awesome. Incredible. I'm going to go over, continuing the initiative. That's Trinity. The Dawn Queen has gotten mad. I am going to need a wisdom saving throw from Barnaby.
All right. Wisdom save. 18.
18. Oh, and oh my goodness, I also forgot. You have protection from evil and good cast on you by Hatch. You see the queen surround herself with dawn light and go, "You will kneel before me. I shall not have my authority questioned."
Hey, listen, lady. I don't kneel before nobody. I mean, I know that I'm trying to inquire your services, give me a little bit of magic and everything, but if that means I gotta kneel for you, I don't even know what we're doing
here. She rushes forward, takes 2 attacks.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Because of the spell.
Only connects on one of them and deals another 6 damage to Barnaby.
Still in it.
Still in it. How much is Barnaby at right now?
He is down to 15.
You see that she also is surrounding her fists with like wreathing magical light that appears to be adding some like spell damage to this. And you see that some of the people watching the bout begin to whisper to each other. And that's her turn. Demora, I'm just going to need another Constitution check from you. So add your Constitution modifier and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, but I was also wondering if slowing her down to 0 would help.
Oh, sorry. What's that?
If slowing her down would help.
Oh, interesting. If slowing down Luna would help?
Yeah, like her speed to 0.
Oh, interesting. What kind of ability do you want to use to do that?
Abjure enemy.
Oh,
her paladin channel divinity. She can frighten them and drop her speed to 0.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Yes, Demora, absolutely. Tell me how you want to abjure enemy. You see, make wisdom saving throw. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. I'm gonna make this saving throw for Luna right now. She rolls a 5 again. Oh my goodness. What does Demora say? Like when Demora summons this ability, what is she saying or doing to Luna in this moment?
She's just like feeling tired at all.
So the most like subtle shade-filled trash talking, incredible. Luna looks up and sees you not even slowing down. Go ahead and now give me that Constitution check give me that with advantage this time.
21.
Oh my God, you beat 20 both rounds. You say slowing down. Luna looks at you. Pie tins are gone. Demora, you just summoned this incredible, like infernal hunger. Your stomach is just like a furnace, just burning through food. Food is gone in an instant. People are going nuts. Let me ask you this: having beat a 20 again, you have eaten all your food, won the match. Let me ask you this: do you want to stop here or eat some of Luna's uneaten food?
Well, since it looks really gross, I'll like just not even use a fork or anything. Just like take from the grossest thing, just like shove my hand into it and be like, yum.
You pile the moss and grubs down. Luna like falls backwards off her stump. You are lifted in the arms of these centaurs. I'm gonna go ahead actually and make a roll for the Queen of Dawn. This is such a baller move to like eat Luna's uneaten food. You've already won. On a natural 19, the Queen of Dawn looks over, sees this move, and is like, oh my goodness, and like cheers out. And you see that all these centaurs pick you up in their arms and start like lifting you over their head, marching you to the Queen's dais. Demora, Demora, Demora. Incredible. That is going to be Orodont. Orodont's movement is only 30. He can't make it to Talisman. Orodont charges you, closes distance. He's like barreling towards you. He's going to take a move and a dash to get within striking distance of you. And then he can't make an attack that round. What an incredible use of the mobile feat. My goodness. That is Ren. Luna has lost the match no matter what. Barnaby, that's you. And I'll say, Ren, you can cast another spell over in Hatch and Barnaby's area if you would like to as well.
I won't cast, but I'll go watch Barnaby.
Cool. Barnaby, that's you.
All right, listen here, Queenie. I just got some news for you, and I'm actually going to be casting the suggestion spell right now, but I am going to try to make it more plausible a little bit and say, listen, some of your people, they were telling me before the match that you're just too full of yourself, that you take yourself too seriously. You see how much you just dressed me down right here? I mean, this is just me. I'm a nobody in this place. And you just completely berated me. And you see how they're whispering over there? They're like not really liking what they're seeing here. So I really think that you should just have a glass jaw and take this one for the team being me. And I'm going to suggest that when I act like I'm punching her, that she goes with it and takes a fall.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and say, naturally influence creatures you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. It does sound reasonable. So she's going to make a wisdom saving throw. She has advantage against charm effects as a Fey queen, but we're going to roll. Let's see what she gets. Here we go. That is a 14 on the higher roll.
14 before?
14 before. And what's your DC again?
It's 15.
15. And it's wisdom. She gets a 16 all told. So you see that she looks and goes, my court would never.
I mean, you see him right there. I mean, look at him whispering at you.
Ren starts whispering and pointing, try to help sell it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't look too good.
Yeah.
Demora, yes.
I cast thaumaturgy to make some weird whispers like, whoa, what was she doing? That's so weird. Like, what?
She's gonna look around. You know what? I will say this: the suggestion may have failed, but with all this help from your allies, Barnaby, just give me a straight
deception check.
Just make a straight deception check.
Well, that would be a 26.
Oh my goodness! So the magic doesn't work on her, but just the words themselves kind of do.
I mean, you got problems in your court, Queenie, is what I'm trying to tell you. And listen, if I was on your side and you were giving me your magics, I would make sure everything ran the right way in this realm.
She looks at you, looks at everything else. She's going to delay her action to see the resolution of the last match. So she's actually going to wait. Hatch, is there anything, Hatch, that you want to do in this moment for either the situation with Barnaby or with Talisman?
To be clear, because I know some people house roll this differently. If I have a spell that is an action and a spell that is a bonus action, can I do both, or does one of them have to be a cantrip?
One of them has to be a cantrip.
Okay, I'm going to I'm going to bless Talisman. Actually, I'm going to bless Talisman and Barnaby because they're the only ones left competing, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I'll bless Talisman, Barnaby, and Trinity just in case like we're about to have to scuffle to get out of here.
Copy that.
So you all have an extra D4 on attacks and say, oh, actually, no, I can't. That is a concentration. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to drop his protection from good and evil.
Cool.
I'm going. I know Talisman is still fighting. Does he seem? He hasn't really been hit yet, right?
Talisman has not been hit yet. No.
Then I'm just going to thaumaturgy again and just get very loud and just be like, oh, I've seen him do this. He's the chiller from up north. He's about to put this guy on ice. Put your money out. It's too late for you, bugbear. And then I pull into my shell like I can't see him do it again. And I hide.
Incredible. Oh my goodness.
Talisman's hype, man. I love it.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Awesome. So you guys see so Talisman, it is your turn. People are cheering. Hatch has just pumped you up incredibly. You're going to get advantage on this first attack as well. Go ahead and make your attacks.
All right. Yeah. So he kind of stumbles in front of me, not able to get to me. I kind of look at him with a look of pity. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to roll the hit. I'm going to do flurry of blows this time as well. Ooh.
Awesome.
I would like to say Michael would totally cheer everyone on, except for the fact that he's in the forest right now.
I know, we're going to get to that in not too long. Very, very cool.
Yeah, so that first unarmed strike was a 9. I'm guessing that doesn't hit it.
That does not hit.
And then, let's see.
Even with advantage?
Was that with advantage?
With advantage. The other one was a 1. So, yeah. And then I just rolled flurry of blows again, and I got a 1. So that doesn't hit. Natural 1, but it's a 7. But
yeah.
And then let's see what the last one does. It's not a 1. I got a 15 on that last one.
15 altogether?
Yes, altogether.
Hold on one second. Oh my goodness. So it was 2. Your first 2 were nat 1s, and then the last one's a 15?
Yes.
They do not hit. Did you roll advantage on the first one?
I rolled advantage on the first one, and I got like a 3, and then I got a 1.
Gotcha. Cool.
1 first, though, yeah.
15 does not hit. So unfortunately, you take your attacks, and this bugbear is going to get some swings on you. I'm going to roll this real quick. That's a nat 20. Oh, no. Okay, hold on one second. This is a lot of damage now. Oh, no. You take 16 points of damage. I'm going to need an opposed athletics check. You need to beat a 13 on athletics.
Okay, let's see.
You see the pole arm come down, hit you, and the bugbear's trying to force you to the ground.
I got a 4.
Oh, no. The bugbear hits you for that damage, knocks you prone, and as a bonus action, is going to swing with advantage. Not a crit, but does hit for an additional 8 points of damage. How much is Talisman at?
How much damage was that in total? What was the first one?
24 total.
24 total.
24 total. Okay, he's not looking good. He has a total of 27. So.
Are you at 3 hit points right now?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So, Talisman, you rush, you do your flurries, but you see Orodont is the champion of the Dawn Court. He muscles through, bam, hits you across the chin, and knocks you to the ground and swings again. You are suddenly at 3 hit points on your back. You are on the verge of being defeated, but it is your turn.
Can I act? Because I know we're.
Oh yeah, we're still in initiative. Yes, Hatch, you can act now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna drop a heal on him.
Go for it.
I'm gonna hit him with a prayer of healing. Because I don't have to touch him for that. I'm just have to be like my head's gonna like pop out of my shell a little bit and be like, "Stop toying with him, Talisman. It's cruel."
Awesome.
And I'm gonna heal him. Oops. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry.
No worries.
For 11.
You heal him for 11? Talisman, go for
it. So what can I do?
It's your turn again. So because
okay.
the eating contest, Demore's won the eating contest, Trinity won the foot race. Barnaby and the Queen are locked in like a weird combat of words right now. So you're at 3 hit points. Go ahead and take your attacks.
Oh, I healed him for 11.
Hatch healed you for 11. So now you're at 14.
Got it. Okay. I am going to hit him with I'm going to finally use my sword and hit him with that. Let's see what that does. Got a 24 with that.
24 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Got it. 11 damage.
Talisman has been running this match the entire time against Orodont, flipping forward, attacking, pressure points, completely unarmed the entire time, rushed back, and then one moment, it looked like it was all over for Talisman. Orodont rushed forward, knocked you on your back, pinned you to the ground, and then suddenly, for the first time, you reach sword up, you monk kip to your feet, like spring off your back to your feet, with no help from your arms at all. Spin around and clang across Orodont's spear up to the haft. You boom, brain him with the pommel of your sword. He swirls on his feet, boom, collapses. You're like covered in blood, breathing heavily. Hatch is like behind you in the stands. People cheer. In the boxing match next to you, you are like the triumphant gladiator. You see the also being lifted by their crowds. Trinity and Demora are like watching the end of your match, cheering. And Barnaby, standing in the boxing match, the Queen looks to you as like the whispers circulate. She looks at your deception, looks up at you and says, reaches out a hand and says, how about a draw? And I give you some advice on what to do when you see my sister, the Queen of Midday.
I was gonna mop the floor with you, but I guess we can go that way instead.
She puts her hand in yours, you shake hands, and it is a draw. Hey! People cheer, people are going nuts. It is just berserk, fanfare, confetti. More feasting is brought out. And Barnaby, you are brought up onto the dais to talk with the Queen of Dawn, who goes back to her throne. The 3 victors, Trinity, Demora, and Talisman, are all brought out front. And we are going to run this one short little thing. Oh, yeah, Dave.
I was going to say, Hatch looks at Ren and is like, hey, where's the frog?
Where did he go?
Incredible. Oh, I love this so much. Hold on one second here. Awesome. So we see our victors brought out, trumpets blare, and the three victors are each lauded. The Queen of Dawn holds her hands aloft and goes, "Champions, victors of the tournament, you came and offered mortal life and mortal blood in these combats. We thank you for your prowess this day." She looks and says, "To the champion of the tournament of the foot race, Trinity, my sister's champion, you have defeated Jothra, the fastest tabaxi in the world. For this, we award you this prize." And she puts a pair of thick brown elven boots in front of you that go like all the way up past the knee. You would recognize these as boots of striding and springing, which increase your speed, let you jump super far. A super awesome pair of boots. You see, she says, "To the champion of the eating contest who bested the mighty Luna." And not only that, but I saw finished her food as well. I present to you a prize, first of all, for winning the eating contest for in general. We present to you a magical traveler's bag as bottomless as your stomach, and presents you a bag of holding. So this is a bag that can contain like truly, like castle's worth of stuff. So it's like bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And you see, she says, "And a personal token from me for having done it with such style." She says, "Style should match style," and gives you this awesome Fey armored shoulder plate. So she gives you like this cool armored shoulder plate that has like Fey runes on it that increases your armor class by 1. She says, "A personal token for such a stylish victory." And then she looks and says, "Talisman, you have honored our tournament grounds, for indeed you risked your life and your mortal blood in your match. For having bested our champion in the melee, we present to you this magic sword." And she presents to you a monk's sword that you recognize as a northern relic that clearly some northern champion was not so fortunate to have used to their success here long ago, like a recovered relic of your people. It is a +1 magical sword, and she looks at you and also says, "Let me ask, if I may, for this is your gift for having bested the melee. But I know that you also, by risking your mortal blood, are owed something more. Your bravery deserves fitting tribute. So the sword you have earned, but I will ask if this reward is to your liking as well. Would you accept becoming my champion here in the slumbering forest, such as it is? Would you carry my banner and fight in the honor of our tournament grounds in this place? You need not say yes, and I will never ask of you a favor or boon that you would not wish to serve."
Yes. Yes, I would.
Huge cheer goes up. You see that all of this court seems to like love mortals. They're like, "I can't believe it. This guy fights when he might die. That's crazy." And they hoot and holler. And you see that she smiles, steps forward, and puts a golden chain around your neck. It's not a glowing sun. It's just like the top half of a sun. like a sun cresting over the horizon. And you see, she says, "While you wear this, let shadows be ever dispelled in your path, and let those unseen by the mortal eye never best you in combat." Talisman no longer rolls with disadvantage when fighting unseen opponents, which is pretty cool. You guys got a bunch of cool new magic gear, and you see that she smiles. You see that she does not give you a kiss like Trinity got from the Midnight Queen. Instead, she gives you that hero's handshake where she like, grabs your forearm, pumps your arm vigorously, and you feel dawn magic fill your body. You have your second blessing from the Fey Queen. Yes, Hatch.
After this happens, I just lean in next to Talisman and I'm like, you almost gave me a heart attack when you let that guy hit you.
Thank you, Hatch, for saving me. I could honestly say if that didn't happen, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah, you had him right where you wanted him, champ. That is bad.
Just being modest.
You see, as people cheer, the Dawn Queen smiles at you, Talisman. You can tell that she's a huge, like, even Auradont is looking at you, being like, "Guy got me. What can I say?" You know. Everyone's coming up and talking to Trinity and to Demora. Like, people just love these mortal champions here. Barnaby, up on the dais, you see that the Queen turns to you and says, "I appreciate you helping me save face in front of my court. My boisterousness can get me into trouble from time to time."
I understand saying, doing things that you might regret later. It's definitely part of my kit too.
You see, she says, "I can give you some advice. I know that you will travel from here to the court of midday, and time is of the essence if you are going to be successful in your quest to solve this prophecy. I have some advice. My sister, the Queen of Midday, is the most outwardly kind of us, but she is clever and cunning in her ways. I would give you some advice, and I would ask," she looks around and says, where is Alaklasmi right now?" And we're going to cut over to the woods. Michael, as you hear the clang of battle and the cheers of the foot race and the hooting and hollering from the eating contest, you walk off down a little woodland path. You are fully invisible, so you don't you don't have to tread carefully here and like stay behind. So you stay right on Alaklasmi's path. You look and see Alaklasmi get to a little clearing. They stop. There's a small little cauldron there. You see Alaklasmi look right, look left, and go, cast their hand over the cauldron, and a spire of green light comes out. And you see that the bushes begin to rustle. One of them starts to rustle right next to you. And you see that made of thorns and vines, you see a bunch of these strange looking, they're almost like hounds. They look like these big kind of like, if you like made Doberman pinchers out of like thorns and leaves, but they have sunken eyes glowing with lime green light and kind of snarl. Their lips pull way back from these thorny teeth, and a pack of these like thorn hounds made out of like strange arcane magic come out. There's about like 9 or 10 of them. You see Alaklasmi look and go, "Well, there, Thornhounds, I see you didn't think to warn me that this group of mortals would happen upon the Queen of Dawn's court. Where were you, and why didn't you find them?" You see that the lead Thornhound says, "Sorry, I am so sorry. They moved unthinking. They didn't take the paths of the forest, and they seem to have some enchantment around them. Their path was obscured. We couldn't track them. And you see that Alakazmi goes, couldn't you track them? Are you not thorn hounds? Why couldn't you track them? You see they look and say, there was a druid of the stars there. She commanded the path to swallow up their tracks behind them. You see Alakazmi reach out, hit one of these dogs. It goes, oh, and sort of reaches back. Michael, what are you doing anything in this moment as you're like observing the magic, observing the thornhounds, observing Alakazmi?
Just back up a little bit so I'm not like in the thorn hound's path.
Cool.
So that I don't want to get anywhere near them.
Awesome. You see Alakazmi turn and say, very well. You also see that this was like not quite the voice you heard Alakazmi using earlier. You see they turn and say, well, there is still time left for us to act. What of the other, the stranger? Have you found them? The thorn hounds look and say, nothing more than some campfires here and there. They have moved so quickly through the forest that we cannot find them. Alakazmi says, well, if their trail has gone cold, I suppose I can throw you dogs a bone. Reaches their hand over and begins to cast a spell into the cauldron. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check if you would like.
14?
You recognize it as a divination spell. It's some form of scrying. You could see what Alakazmi is scrying on, but you'd have to be able to see into the waters of the cauldron, which means that you would either have to walk up right next to Alakazmi or get up into the branches overhead. What does Michael do?
Is there like... Okay, hold on.
I know, big stakes right now.
I don't think he's gonna try to see what he's doing. I think he's just gonna keep watching for now.
You keep watching. It's not worth risking it. Awesome. You play it very safe in that moment. Alakazmi sees something. You see Alakazmi smiles and says, it looks like our friend met something of a dead end in the slumbering forest and has needed to avail themselves of some of the goods of the midday market. Hounds, go to the midday market, find the traveler, and kill them at once. The hounds go, yes, sir, and boom, sprint off into the forest. You see Alakazmi turn away from the cauldron and begin to walk back in your direction because they're going back to the where you guys came from.
Did he take the thing he was riding on?
Did he?
Or did he leave it there?
Alakazmi has like his personal effects and stuff, but you see the cauldron is still there with like a thick sort of spoon in it on this fire, and there's some other like runes and arcane stuff around in that area.
Can I?
Sorry, real quick. Trinity, did you have your hand up? Did you want to say something?
Yeah. Is the guy leaving the forest right now, or the pole that he's in? Is he leaving and coming back to the?
He's coming back. He's coming back to the tournament grounds right now. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way back. So yeah. Michael, you see, and I'm trying to think, the thing Alakazmi wrote on. Is this, what thing are you referring to? My memory might be slipping right now.
You said that I could like go look up there, where like I could go around and look. So I was wondering if it was still there, if I could see it now because he's gone.
You're not sure if you could still see the scrying of the pool, but you could definitely go and check on it if you wanted to.
Could I get everyone else and tell them and then check on it together?
Yes, absolutely. You could absolutely do that. What do you want to do right now as Alaklasmi is walking towards you?
I'm just gonna walk beside him. Well, I'll leave with him.
Okay, awesome. So you just are like invisible. I'm going to say go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage.
That's let's see. 10.
Incredible. So you got a 10. You are invisible, but as you wait to walk by Alaklasmi, Alaklasmi starts walking, and as Alaklasmi's walking, like you've been still and wait to kind of fall in line with Alaklasmi. But you realize your frog feet as you walk are going, but you're walking perfectly in step with Alaklasmi. So Alaklasmi stops, looks around. I'm going to make a perception check for them. I'll make this with disadvantage because you're invisible. If Alaklasmi gets a +6 to perception, which means that on a 4 or higher, first roll is a 16. You have 1 die left. That's a natural 2. You see,
Nice.
you see that basically. So Michael, you've like done this awesome sneaky wizard thing. You've turned invisible. You went, saw this grind, saw these hounds go off, like. And you see that literally after all this cool frog wizard spy stuff, you just engaged with Alaklasmi in like a Three Stooges routine, getting back, because it's literally like that thing where it's like a fake mirror where Alaklasmi goes like, what the? Alaklasmi like looks at his feet like he's making the noise. He's like, what's wrong with my feet? Something wrong with the moss? And you're just having to like step perfectly invisibly every time Alaklasmi steps until you get all. And finally, see Alaklasmi just goes, weird. Better see a foot doctor or something. And then walks back all the way with you to the tourney grounds. You arrive back and get there, but you're still invisible. But you get to the tourney grounds and see all your friends being celebrated. You see that Talisman's been chosen as the Dawn champion. You see that Demora and Trinity both won their respective matches. And you see Barnaby kind of doing business up on the dais with the Queen of Dawn. What does Michael do? Who do you tell?
Is he out of my sight? Like he can't see me anymore, even if I'm not invisible?
Alaklasmi goes back to the dais and seems to forget about everything else.
Okay. Can I go uninvisible?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you can do it out of eye line for Alaklasmi, so you can just go somewhere else, pop out of it, and be okay.
Okay. Are they all in a group or are they in separate groups? So would I have to like?
I can say if you want to round everybody up, I'll say you can go ahead and round everybody up. And you see, it's basically as long as you guys want to stay here and party, the Sylvan beings of this place want to party with you. Like, people are like Trinity, Demora, and Talisman can't go anywhere without getting mobbed by people who want to like hang out with them and talk about how cool they are. Hatch.
I definitely need some rest. It was a lot of effort.
Yes, absolutely. So Michael, you're able to round everybody up and you guys get a little bit of privacy away from everybody.
He like everyone's around him, right? No one else is around.
Yes, Trinity, question?
And Trinity's gonna say, isn't it better that only a few of us go into there? Because if all of us go, it's gonna be suspicious.
That makes sense. Michael, go ahead though and tell people what you want to tell them about what you saw. Like it in Michael's words, what does Michael say about what he saw?
So he explains the invisible part. He's bragging. He's like, I went invisible. Very proud of himself.
Very resourceful. Very resourceful.
I can't go invisible.
And then he explains like who the guy was. He was following how it was the like weird yeti looking thing. And then he explains the cauldron. He was like, it was green, and then there was dogs, but they were plants. But they also had green eyes. And he was riding on something, but I couldn't see it because I didn't want to die.
Self-preservation's a good thing, kid.
Live
what-
to fight
what-
another day.
What do you mean though that he was writing in something or something like that?
He was casting some sort of spell, and I originally followed him because he was casting a spell to keep up a spell that he casted before. So he was trying to keep up something that he was doing. And he mentioned going to the Midday Queen and finding someone and murdering them.
Well, that sounds kind of serious.
Did he mention their name or anything?
No, I think he just said like a wandering trader, kind of like a person just going on an adventure. I don't think he was talking about us because it was only one person, unless he's targeting one of us.
So it was a traitor, someone who betrayed them.
Possibly,
Or
like
like-
someone who betrayed.
Like a stranger person?
I don't know. He seemed very mad at this one specific person that that the dogs were sent to kill.
I
Also,
look-
we're really awesome because the dogs couldn't find us.
Hey, that's all that druidry. Where's Frederick, by the way?
Frederick is around. If you see Frederick says, so let me be very clear. The draw means I don't have to live here forever, right?
But you could if you
Yeah,
wanted
you
to.
can choose to. It's a valid life path.
I feel like no, probably I should go back and find out where maybe get another boat. You know, fisherman can't change his stripes and all that. So
Not a lot of fish in the forest.
that's very true. I haven't seen any fish so far.
Only water in the forest is the river.
I don't know if that's a metaphor or an aphorism.
I'm pretty sure he just says things at this point and kind of just nods his head. And because he says them really slow, like we think they are
Got it.
all these pearls of wisdom.
Gotta think about it. Let the truth reveal itself.
Fascinating, yes. You see, he says, Buford looks at you guys too and says, like, so to understand, you, Michael, you observed this shaman interacting with these thorn hounds, and you believe they've gone to the court of Midday to effect the killing of some enemy of this shaman. Does this, it's curious, feels like this you see,
Hey, listen up. Me and the Queenie, we're like really, really tight now. So maybe I just asked the Queen about this Yeti face guy. Like, is he like some kind of bad guy and she doesn't know it?
Yeah, hey, champ. And he does just sort of like pep Talisman. He's like, let's go talk to your lady.
Let's go. Yes.
While they do that, can some of us go back to where he was? Preferably not the champions, because then everyone would follow them. So no,
Ooh.
Demore or Trinity.
Ren will
That-
go with you.
Cool. So Ren, Michael, does anyone else go into the forest other than Ren and Michael?
Once they start walking in, Trinity's gonna slowly fall behind them because she wants to know what's going on.
Okay, cool. Trinity, go ahead and give me a stealth check. And remember, you roll these with advantage.
Okay. I got 19.
19. Incredible at hiding. You have that midnight cloak. So Ren and Michael, you guys walk in. So the druid and wizard, you guys go back and find this little cauldron in the woods, this kind of little clearing surrounded by rocks and moss-covered stones. And you can walk right up to the cauldron and investigate it. At first blush, the water in the cauldron is kind of a soupy, algae-filled mess. It's clearly not food. It's some kind of scrying pool that you bet this shaman comes back to and uses over and over again. what do you guys want to investigate? You can make skill checks, you can cast magic, you can do whatever you want to do here. What do you guys want to do now that you're back in the clearing? And Trinity, you're sort of at the edge observing this as well. Michael, yes.
Can I see what the runes are? Didn't you say there's like runes, magic stuff around it?
Absolutely. You can make an Arcana check, or if you want to cast like a detect magic or a read magic here, you can.
Well,
12.
That's
You're looking right at these runes. They're kind of like some Sylvan runes or stuff like that. Do either of you speak Sylvan? Oh, Kelly, I think you're muted.
I do actually speak Sylvan.
Very cool. Do you want to make a nature check for me as well?
Sure.
So, Michael, you're looking at making an Arcana check. You can't read Sylvan, so you're not sure what these say. It looks all pretty acceptable to you. It looks like a sort of little druid's circle. You don't see too many answers coming to you from the runes. You might get more from the cauldron. What's the nature check from Ren?
16.
Ren, these runes are kind of gibberish. Like, you're looking at them, you don't think this is a real druid's grove. Like, this would fool a wizard, it would fool a cleric, but it wouldn't fool a druid. You're looking at it and you're like, this doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like real druid magic. Does anyone want to investigate the cauldron at all?
I will.
Yeah, you do the cauldron. Trinity, what do you want to do?
Trinity's gonna like look at the stuff around where he was to see if she can find any clues of anything that he might be doing.
Awesome. Go ahead and make either a survival check or a nature check for me. Either one is good.
Okay. I got a 22.
22. Trinity, you're looking for a 22. You see something really interesting to you, which is this. There are no tracks of alaklasmi anywhere in this clearing. You don't see alagai tracks. Like, you don't see big furry paw prints. You see small boot prints everywhere. Very small boot prints.
Oh. Trinity's gonna walk out from behind her hiding something, be like, what are those?
Michael and Ren, I don't think you guys are both because you're doing like sneaky stuff and and Trinity walks out and speaks. We're gonna cut over to the dais right now. Demora.
Is it too late for me to run in because like I heard them making noise or something? Or
if Demora wants to go to that scene, you absolutely can.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with them.
Cool, you go with them. So Demora, you step into the clearing as well. Is there anything you want to do or investigate in that clearing?
Not really. I just wanted to see what they are up to, and I might do a bit of investigating.
Cool. You can, if you want to use one of your features or spells, you can, or if you just want to make skill checks, you can do that too. So Trinity's made this huge discovery. You guys have that cauldron. You're learning stuff about this place. We're gonna go to the dais with now Talisman, Barnaby, and Hatch. Yes, Hatch.
Do we see this guy that Michael alaklasmi? Is he there?
Yeah, alaklasmi is just by the side of the Queen of Dawn.
I'm going to cast Detect Evil and Good, which will let me detect Fae, and I'm interested to see if he registers as Fae because he should. So if he doesn't, I'll know.
Dave, what are you doing to me, babe?
I'm a high wisdom character.
Dave,
or at least he just sounds that way.
Dave, would it shock you to know that alaklasmi does not register as Fae?
shocked. But at least initially, I don't say anything. So I don't want him to just like super run, but I'm just like walk up and I'm kind of like, okay. Is there any? I know we theoretically are the only mortals here. Does anyone else not show? Because I mean, I assume it lights up like the Disneyland Christmas parade with Faye, but it's but not that guy.
Absolutely. Like it is, everyone here is Fae. Even things that normally wouldn't be Fae, like the bugbears and other stuff like that, are like were raised in this fairy court and are basically like changelings. They're like everyone's registering as Fae here.
Okay. All right. So far, just us and that one guy, and I guess theoretically Frederick. I know there was some fan, but we already figured that out. I think
you see that Fae presence is gone. That Fae presence was the spell that was cast on him.
All right.
And I'll go you one further here. Alaklasmi is not registering as Fae, but there is Fae magic in an aura around Alaklasmi. So it's like maybe not intrinsic, but present.
At least, well, if I have a chance to say something to them because I can get it within 30 feet, I just say, yeah, he's not Fae as we walk up.
So Talisman and Barnaby, you both hear Hatch communicate that to you.
Are you sure?
What do you mean by this?
I can just feel it, man. I just like, no, he's not. He's got Fae magic, but he's not Fae.
I mean, Talisman, he ain't never really been wrong. I mean, I've only known him like 2 days, but he hadn't been wrong in like 2 days. So
very true, very true.
Cool. Do you three guys at the dais, so you glean that information. The Dawn Queen basically, congratulates you, gives you the blessing, tells you the best way to get to the court of midday. Do you guys do anything else at the dais or even here at the tourney? Yes.
Your worshipfulness, listen, we got a problem that you ought to solve here. You got problems in the court. I've already been telling you about all this, and we've rooted out another one. My pal here, Hatch, and I pat him on the back of his shell, probably a little too hard. And he's got a feeling, which means he's kind of prayed or like done some kind of magic spell or something like that. And this guy right here, he is not what he says he is. He is not one of you Fae creatures or one of we Fae creatures. I'm a Fae creature. I forgot that for a second. But listen, he's not one of us. Something's going on with him.
I do just say, and I told Talisman and the champion sprung into action.
Go ahead, Barnaby, and make a persuasion check here.
I'm pretty good at that.
Don't jinx it.
24.
Ooh. The Queen of Dawn looks at Barnaby say this. Alaklasmi's eyes go wide. The Queen of Dawn looks at you, Talisman, and says, Champion, do you vouch for these mystics? Is what they say true?
I'd bet my life on it.
I'm a mystic. Nobody ever called me a mystic.
You see a huge gasp goes up. Orodont stands up, sort of snarls at you, Talisman, nods his head, and stands by your side in between Alaklasmi and the Dawn Queen, like protecting the Queen. Alaklasmi puts his hands up and says, my Queen, let us not listen to these flatterers and liars. Why don't we all simply relax? And you see magic surrounds him. The Queen puts up like a spell shield. Alaklasmi snarls, looks dead at you, Barnaby, and says, a curse on you, Fawn. Till next time! Disappears in a blast of like strange, deep indigo blue moths. You feel a warlock's hex put on you. I'm not even going to make you roll Arcana. You know it because you know how to do it yourself. But you blew up this guy's spot. He casts a hex on you and vanishes. The court bursts into action. The Queen of Dawn stands and says, "Hunters to the four winds, find the false shaman Alaklasmi." She looks at you, Barnaby, and says, "I say this full well, knowing I owe you." And actually, she looks and says, "Who?" She says, "Summon the rest of your party here at once." For the rest of you that are in the woods right now, do you do anything else like other than that? In the sort of here in the forest? Yes, Trinity.
Trinity's gonna be like, so it isn't the same footprints. So I have a feeling that whoever was in here, wait, what's his name again?
Alaklasmi?
That Alaklasmi was not actually Alaklasmi.
Ooh, the plot thickens. You guys see a bunch of armored centaurs gallop. You can hear their hooves. It sounds kind of scary for a second. They come out and they say, "The Dawn Queen asks for your presence at once." You guys,
when they come back, or if they're coming back, Barnaby just says, "Hey, I got some news for you. This Alaklasmi ain't Alaklasmi."
I know Michael's the one who told him. You see that sort of as this all happens, the centaurs march you guys back to the clearing, or back to the tourney grounds at the dais. The Dawn Queen looks and says, "A momentous day here in the Court of Dawn. Your presence here has driven a poison from my realm. The false shaman has been found out." You see, she looks and says, "Who here discovered the falseness of Alaklasmi?" Michael raises his hand. She looks and says, "What is your name?"
Michael.
He says, "And how did this Alaklasmi was the most clever member of our court? How did you discover him without him discovering you?"
Well, I used my really big eyes and I looked around and he was really suspicious looking. And so I went invisible and then I followed him and then he did some weird magic. And also there's plant dogs.
See, he says, "Plant dogs, thorn hounds, loose in my court." He says, "Those justice will be done. And to you and your quick eyes, you have the thanks of the Court of Dawn." You see that she reaches behind her throne and takes a bandolier of scroll cases. And you see that she tosses them to you, and about 5 scroll cases sort of land in your arms. And she says, "Let the battle magic of the Court of Dawn protect you and your friends with your quick eyes going forth from here. Brave wizard Michael, a friend to the Court of Dawn, always." You see that yes, Trinity.
Trinity's gonna go up to the Queen and tell her that the footprints didn't match him, and that she thought that it was another person in disguise.
She pulls up the throne and takes your hand and lets you step up on the throne and says, "If you would be so kind, Midnight Champion, please tell all of my hunters and trackers what they now search for in the lands beyond." And you look out as all these centaurs and rangers sort of kneel to you and wait for you to describe the footprints to them that they're now going to go try to hunt down.
Trinity's gonna say to them, the footprints were like boots, but they were really, really small, almost like some type of creature that wears shoes, though.
See, they all look around. They look around at like all these hooves of like satyrs and centaurs and ogres and trolls and stuff like that, and look around and they say, "Shoes in the Dawn Court are rare indeed. You have made our mission much more likely to succeed. Thank you, Lady Trinity. And you see they look and say, to the forest! Yes, Michael.
Can he tell the queen also that the thorn hounds were heading for the midday to find someone?
You see, she nods, and you see that she looks and says, my champion Talisman can guide you from this path. If time is of the essence, travel on the forest pathways. With my blessing, I give you boon to walk the paths that Sir Alamanth will not trouble you. You will be able to make it there before the passing of any time at all. It is a short path from dawn to midday. I wish you well. And you see that the court applauds you. These trackers head out, and all of you head out on the path this time, not having to travel in secret.
Hatch needs a rest. Hatch is like, wait.
Cool. I'll let you guys take a long rest here. You are well fed. Long rest. Yes, Michael.
Michael's gonna eye Barnaby, thinking that they're going after him because he was because he did something with the Midnight Queen, so now he thinks that it's all Barnaby's fault again.
It's not my fault. It's not.
Yes, Trinity.
Trinity is gonna sit down, but she's just going to stare around, like straight face, just looking around, and not even lay down to take a sleep.
I love it. Just staying alert and focused. You guys have a wonderful rest. You sleep. The champions of the Dawn Queen go out to try to find whoever this was, to look for the Thorn Hounds. You guys rest. The next morning, or rather, later that dawn, you guys awaken and head off on the path, journey through the forest. This time you journey so safely and quickly. Yes, Michael.
Also, the second Michael wakes up, he realizes, oh, yes, at least one of them likes me, because he realized that at least one of them, he got 1 approval so far, 1 out of 3.
I love that. So you guys head out, rested. You have tons of rations, good food from the feasting tables, and a new champion of one of the Fey Queens. As you guys head out from here with a new blessing, you make your way towards the court of midday, and with that. Right before you arrive at the court of midday, we're going to end here, gang. We're going to end our wonderful journey here. We'll pick up next week at the court of midday. Hurrah and well fought, champions.
Wait. Is that, if I might advocate for these young champions?
Yes, of course.
Perhaps they have earned just one more thing.
Oh, I believe they have. Thank you so much.
If I might advocate on their behalf.
Having been so wonderful with all of our sneaky secret spellcasters helping our champions to succeed, finding secret bad guys when perhaps they wouldn't have, and to our amazing champions of the foot race, the eating contest, the melee, and the boxing match, not least of all, you will be leveling up to 4th level. So you guys will level up before next week. You'll roll new hit points, get new powers. Yeah!
Yay!
Well done, heroes of the Slumbering Forest. Thank you all so much for watching at home. Tune in next week for the 5th chapter of the Slumbering Forest. Go ahead and check out our links for direct relief, so you can go ahead and donate for this awesome charity stream. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye!
Bye.